You need passion to create your best work. You need passion to create an awesome client or customer journey. And you need passion to take your ideas and put them into action. Hi, everyone. Welcome to the Take Back Your Biz Summit. I am so excited to have you here. I'm your host, Lauren Black, creative strategist, former brand designer and brand strategist, and now owner of Bosscation, a business retreat in a box to help entrepreneurs get away from your daily distractions to strategically plan for your business. So I know this summit is supposed to be filled with guest experts sharing how they have found more freedom, joy, and growth in their business by taking back things like their power, their passions, their time, and their weeknights. But I wanted to start off with my story. The whole idea behind Take Back Your Biz and how I went through burnout and have now found my passion once again. So thank you for tuning in. Make sure you sign up for our giveaway if you haven't already, and also the free challenge coming up next week that'll give you action steps of how to take back your biz. Well, this week, the interviews will just give you knowledge and information, a little less hands-on. And our giveaway is filled with amazing prizes such as coaching sessions and memberships. Like so many of you, I started my business because of something I was really passionate about. I loved graphic design. I had gone to school for it and I was doing it in the corporate world, but my corporate position, sometimes there were PowerPoints and corporate presentations that just weren't very fun. And so I wanted more creative freedom. I wanted to break the glass ceiling that was holding me back from what I saw as my potential. So I left my day job where I had been a workaholic because I had been building my business on nights, weekends, and lunch breaks on top of commuting almost an hour each way. So I finally have this freedom at hand, right? Which is another reason we start our business, for passion and for freedom. And just expecting to, I'm just gonna, design all day. I only need to design for 20 hours a week in order to meet my corporate salary, which I didn't realize there were a lot more expenses that I hadn't calculated for running a business. So that calculation was off, first of all. But there were also so many more time-consuming things that didn't even give me a chance to work 20 hours a week of paid client work. So I got to the point where I had maxed out the number of hours I could even work in a week. I was working so long and so hard, and it was burning me out. I felt like I wasn't even reaching my financial goals, but yet I had completely maxed out the amount of time and energy I had left to work on client projects. So there were a lot of things that I did wrong starting my business, a lot of things that I didn't have the organization and the systems in place, the schedule, or the boundaries. And these are all things that the rest of the summit, the other influencers will be sharing on, of how you can take back your business, avoid the overwhelm and burnout by following these steps and these actions that I wish that I could go back and implement into my business before I got to the burnout phase. So between all these things, I was overwhelmed, I was stressed, and I'd been trying to hold it in for so long, but it finally got to a tipping point. And I broke down in front of my husband, crying, and said, I can't be the perfect business owner, the perfect wife, the perfect friend, the perfect everything. I'd been trying so hard to balance it all, and I hadn't set myself up for success. So finally, I spent a weekend away from client work and from my business, shut down the computer, turned off my phone, and I needed to figure out a path. I needed to figure out some way to make this business work, to scale things so that I could have more time and more money coming in. So why is it so important to be passionate about what you do? I mean, we're all just trying to make a living, and if you've got money coming in the door, shouldn't that be good enough? I mean, we all know that's not true. I can't even say it seriously, because as creatives and as multi-passionates, we have a deeper need and desire and craving that not everyone understands, that we need to connect with our work. We need to be loving what we're doing. On the other hand, what about those who build a business based off of a passion that no one really wants or needs? I was watching Shark Tank recently, one of my favorite shows, and there were these guys that came in with this idea of the no phone. because they've seen how they and their friends are so addicted to their cell phones, they finally had a solution. So I figured this would be some awesome genius app that locked people's phones down while they're in a social setting or at family dinner time, and that you could only unlock if everybody types in the passcode at the same time, or something silly, something smart. But no, it was a piece of plastic that looked like a child's play toy phone. And one version, if you wanted the upgrade, you could get one with a mirror on the back for this selfie. Yes, that's what they were selling and trying to pitch on Shark Tank, was a piece of plastic. And that was their solution to people being addicted to their phones. Well, newsflash, people aren't addicted to just holding a piece of plastic or a piece of metal in their hand. People are addicted to checking their notifications, looking at apps, reading news stories, checking their emails. So what they were building was not needed by anyone else. It was not wanted by anyone else. And the sharks quickly shut them down. So no matter how passionate they were about the no phone was a no-go. And so we need to find a balance between what we're passionate about and what we can actually make a living from. Because otherwise it's just a hobby, and hobbies are fine. I do photography as a hobby, but I am definitely not good enough to be a professional photographer without a ton of training. So, figuring out that balance of talent too in that mix, and how does that play into it? So the key ingredient here is making sure that your business and your passion are driving in the same direction. I'll say that again. Your business and your passion need to be driving in the same direction. They need to be helping one another and not in conflict with one another. So if your passion is something that no one wants or needs, that's going to be in conflict with your success. It's like this. I like to go for walks. I'm not a runner because I have bad ankles, but I love speed walking. And if I'm going for a walk by myself, my neighborhood's a mile long, and I'll just kind of take my time. I might start off fast and I just kind of slow down and putz my way around the neighborhood. But if I'm walking with my sister, we push each other to walk faster, and we can shave 5 minutes off our mile. That's a lot. But that's because we're encouraging one another, working together for a common purpose. So you need to make sure that your talents, your passion, and your business are doing that same thing. It's like this. So if you are really passionate about a certain project, let's go back to my design example. So as a graphic designer, sometimes I would create a project for, a mood board for the client. And they come back raving about how awesome this mood board is. They are so excited. And that gives me the energy and the drive to now create an amazing logo for that client. And so now I'm creating this awesome logo, send it over, they love it. And now I'm even more excited because they don't want any changes, no revisions. They love it as is. Makes me really excited and happy to be doing what I'm doing. Next client comes along, I'm going to be energized and ready to take it on. So now also, if I'm having this great client experience by providing great value to my client, that they love it, I love it, they're going to now tell their friends and spread the word for you, which is going to grow your business even bigger and faster and stronger. So it's this cycle, the snowball effect, that when you're doing a good job and strong at what you do, you're getting complimented on it, then they're spreading the word, you're growing. It's just this cycle of growth. But when you start to take on too many clients, and now you're overwhelmed with your schedule and you're not able to dedicate that time to those clients, and then you're not putting in your best work. And so now you're having to do revisions. And when they come back and want changes, instead of being so excited about their project, now you're taken back and frustrated. I'm saying you, but this is about me. This is what happened to me. So got to the point where then it was a downward spiral for me. And because I was frustrated with one client, that would show up in my other clients. And then when I'm on consultation calls with people, they can tell that I'm just frustrated and down and not happy with my work. And so why would someone want to hire someone that doesn't want to be doing the job? It's not going to produce the best work. It's not going to produce a very happy client experience. You're not going to be eager to get back to them when they have questions, and eager to throw in some bonuses for them if you feel like you're already stretched thin. That's also the danger of charging too little, is that you feel like you can't just throw in some bonuses for them. When they ask for an extra, tweak here or there, or an extra something, then you start nickel and diming them, and it makes their experience bad, and they start bashing you to people instead of singing your praises. And then you get upset that this client's just nickel and diming me, and see how it's this whole progress. And so your business and your passion and your talent can either be working together for you or working against you. And it's all how you set yourself up. Are you going to set yourself up for success? Are you going to put in those client boundaries so that you don't take on more than you can handle? Are you going to set up systems so that rather than being caught up in all of the admin work and the onboarding process, you've got something that's automated for you, so that the things that you don't like about business, you can avoid, and that will make you overall more happy. So I am big into psychology and love studying the human brain, human behavior. And so here's something that I've read about this topic. So according to Malini Mohana of Psych Central, I probably botched that name. I'm going to read it so I get it right. Passion is the underlying feature that laces the success of all of the most prominent people in history. Passion moves you to persevere at something despite fear, unhappiness, or pain. And later in the article, she goes on to say that motivation does not simply give you the energy to work, but allows you to entirely change your perception of everything that you do. So here's the thing. When you are passionate and motivated and in a positive mindset, your perception of your surroundings will change and be different. They'll be more positive. So you might have that nightmare client that asks for 1 million revisions. But because you have a solid foundation mentally and emotionally, you're going to handle it and you'll move on. And it's not going to take you down and cause you to burn out in your business. You might even have a lot going on and a really busy plate, but because you are mentally stable in that time, it's okay. You can handle it without feeling too overwhelmed, without being so stressed that you take it out on your loved ones around you and on your clients. But if you let yourself get into a negative mindset and start letting your passion fade, losing that motivation for what you do, then that's when your perspective of that bad client, or maybe it's not even a bad client, but just, you're not quite connecting with them, your perception of them is going to be, this is horrible, I can't do this any longer, I hate what I do, and it's going to cause that to ripple into everything around you. So back when I was going through my burnout and I was super stressed and overwhelmed, tired, I would jump on a Facebook Live every once in a while in one of the Facebook groups that I, ran, and would just try to, talk business stuff. And I was trying to mask how I felt and my frustrations in business, trying to act like everything was fine. But once I had my business breakthrough, and I was completely lit up. I had found newfound passion and new excitement for what I knew were my strengths in business and how I could build a business around that, and my personality and how I could find something that really, led me down a path that I enjoyed. Once I found that, I jumped in the same Facebook group and went to share the news. And to my surprise, everyone in that group started commenting like, "Oh, it's so great to see you happy again." And I was like, how did you know that I was so miserable before and unhappy? I was trying to mask it, but people could see that right through. Clients would pick up on that too. I know I had a few calls about web design. Now, I don't like web design, and, I've tolerated it in the past, but, sometimes at one point I was in the middle of a frustrating web design project that I didn't like doing. And I had someone else ask me about designing a website for them. And I think my tone of voice and the way I presented the pitch caused them to just realize I did not want to be doing that, and that I was not excited and enthusiastic about that project, and they didn't hire me. I actually didn't land any other web clients after the one that brought me down. So people pick up on those things, and so that plays into your own energy. When those around you feel the negative side of things, they're going to pull back. And you want people pushing you forward. You want people lifting you up and you lifting them up and doing that snowball effect that drives your business. You need passion to create your best work. You need passion to create an awesome client or customer journey. And you need passion to take your ideas and put them into action and grow your business. Being a small business owner is tough. It really is. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. So that's why it's so important to be passionate about your work. And even if it's not the thing that you're most passionate about, because you found that while you love singing, it's just too hard for you to make it as a singer, and so you're going to be a wedding planner instead. So you might have a passion that's outside of your business that's the number one thing you're most passionate about in your life. But you still need to make sure your passion, your talent, and your business are running in the same direction. So find those things that you're passionate about and build your business around it. And it's not just about the actual thing you do. So you could be a calligrapher and you love what you do, but if you are setting yourself up in an environment that you don't like working in, and with people that you don't like to work with, and a process that drives you nuts, then even though you love that calligraphy, you're not going to love your business. So think of some things that make it a good working environment for you. So maybe you're super organized, and when things are disorganized, it stresses you out. So maybe you need to take a weekend and organize your desk in your office or wherever your workspace is. You need to organize your computer and even organize your client onboarding system and your communication. What can you do to get your business to the point where you're happy working in it? For me, my close friends in business know that one of my pet peeves is having people either cancel calls on me last minute, stand me up, or be super late. Drives me nuts. I feel disrespected, and it goes back to my corporate background when I was a CEO's assistant. So for me, I needed to set up something to help me avoid that, because I found that having, even if there's a calendar invite out and it's on someone's calendar, they often would forget and miss it, and maybe they use a different calendar app and then the one that went through. And so I finally got Calendly and paid the paid subscription, so that now I've got it set up so that my calls, when people schedule them with me, it automatically sends them a reminder 2 days before, 2 hours before, and 5 minutes before. And guess what? For the Take Back Your Biz Summit, out of 20 people that I had calls with for influencers, not a single one was late. And it was amazing, because it would have really stressed me out. Let's say I had to postpone or cancel or change half of those. Then, it throws off my schedule that I had already set in place and was ready and prepared for the call. And so for me, having that in place keeps me happy in my business. And, trying to avoid the things that drive you nuts or that you hate doing is a great way to stay happy and passionate in your business. Maybe you hate being on camera and you just dread it, being on film, and you've tried it. You have tried it and you just still don't like it. Well, don't agree to be on someone's video summit. And, say no to opportunities that you think could help you grow your business, but only for the sake of abandoning your values and what you're, passionate about, is not a good business move. You may think that YouTube is going to be the answer to grow your business with search engine optimization and video is huge, but you still hate being on camera. Well, find an alternative route. Put up slides and have B-roll footage, film your computer screen. Find a way to avoid that thing that you dread. Because guess what happens when you let those things that you hate doing creep into your business? They will hold you back. You will procrastinate on them, and so it'll slow you down. You won't be as efficient. For me, I would spend 8 hours writing a blog post, but I can record a video much faster. So that's just something that, you either have to work at it. Now I've gotten to the point where I can write a blog post in an hour and a half, maybe hour if it's a shorter one. So, figure out a way to avoid the situations that bring you down. A lot of this is compiled in my nucleus principle, which is the very steps that I took to regain my passion in my business. But I won't be getting into that now because that's all part of the challenge next week, November 7th through 9th. So if you haven't signed up for that yet, make sure you sign up at takebackyyourbiz.com. And also when you sign up, you'll be entered into our massive giveaway. So all sorts of prizes that'll help you take back your business, like coaching sessions and membership sites and ebooks and workbooks. So do sign up. There's $1,500 worth of prizes or more. But what this all comes down to is knowing yourself and your personality. What are the things that drive you to be motivated, that you love what you do, the environment that you love working in? If you're an extrovert and need people around, you can't just sit in an empty office like this. Go out and find a coffee shop or co-working space to work from. Figure out what business model you work best with. What lights you up? Is it a group course that you teach live? Is it live workshops? Is it passive income that you just build out and don't even have to communicate much with your clients? Figure out what works for you and let your business and your passions and your talent drive the same direction. So that's all for taking back your passion, but make sure you tune into the rest of the summit through November 6th, where we have 20 people sharing about how you can take back your business. Things like your power, your productivity, your freedom, your time. So tune in and sign up for that giveaway at takebackyyourbiz.com. I also have a free Facebook group that I'd love to invite you to join. I'm actually only opening it up right now to the public, but after the challenge and after I launch, it'll be closed to just my paying clients, so I can really pour into those who, are trying to build their business and taking bosscations and taking back their business. But for now, I'll be presenting all of the challenge videos in there. So head on over to Facebook, and it's Ideas to Impact Entrepreneur. And you can find that at bosscation.com/community. So see you in the group for some accountability, support, and biz besties that you can grow your business with other people around you. Thanks for tuning in. Bye.